Ladies and gentlemen, confidence. Let me tell you something about it. It's not the clothes you wear. It's not the way you paint your face. It's not even the number of compliments you collect. When you walk into a room, real confidence is invisible but undeniable. It's that inner flame, that steady presence that says, I know who I am, I know what I bring, and I don't need to prove it to anyone. When a woman walks in that truth, she doesn't have to demand attention, it follows her. She doesn't have to beg for respect, it's given to her. Men are not just drawn to that kind of confidence. They are disarmed by it, they are challenged by it, and sometimes they are even intimidated by it. See, here's the thing. Confidence isn't arrogance. Arrogance is loud, insecure, always seeking validation. Confidence is quiet, it's secure, it's rooted. It doesn't waver when someone criticizes. It doesn't break when someone leaves. And that's why men find it dangerously seductive, because a confident woman cannot be easily manipulated. She cannot be controlled by flattery, by empty promises, or by games. She knows her worth, and she demands that everyone around her recognizes it too. Think about it. The moment you decide you don't need validation from anyone else, you become powerful. When you speak with purpose. When you walk with presence. When you sit in silence, your silence speaks louder than the noise of 100 voices. That's the kind of power that makes men sit up straight, pay attention, and sometimes even second-guess themselves. Confidence shifts the balance. It tells the world, I don't chase, I attract. Now here's the beauty of it. Confidence doesn't mean you have to be perfect. In fact, it's the opposite. Confidence is owning your imperfections and still standing tall. It's looking in the mirror and saying, yes, I have flaws, but I am still enough. When a woman carries herself like that, when she doesn't crumble under society's pressures, when she doesn't shrink just to make someone else feel comfortable, she becomes unforgettable. She becomes magnetic. And men, whether they admit it or not, are drawn to that energy. Because deep down, everyone is looking for someone who is real, who is grounded, who knows their own strength. A confident woman doesn't beg for love, she inspires it. She doesn't cling to a man, she walks beside him. She doesn't fear losing someone, she fears losing herself. That's what makes her presence so dangerously attractive. She is complete on her own, and that completeness pulls people in. So understand this, confidence is not about being louder than the next person. It's about being steady, unshakable, rooted in who you are. It's about knowing that no matter who walks in or out of your life, you remain valuable, you remain worthy. That's the kind of confidence that doesn't just seduce. It transforms, it commands, and it conquers. Mystery.
Subtlety.
Two qualities that carry more power than any loud display or desperate attempt to be seen. Let me tell you, the most seductive thing a woman can do is not show all her cards at once. It's not about being distant or playing games. It's about understanding the value of pacing, the art of revealing layers slowly, the wisdom in keeping certain things sacred. A woman who embraces mystery doesn't need to overexpose herself to feel validated. She knows that leaving something unsaid, something unseen, is what keeps a man intrigued. See, human nature is wired to chase curiosity. When something is fully given away, it loses its sparkle. But when there's depth to explore, when there's more than meets the eye, that's when people lean in. Men find this dangerously seductive because it challenges their instinct to uncover, to discover, to pursue. Mystery invites pursuit, and subtlety keeps it alive. Think of it like a beautiful novel. You don't read the last page first. You want to journey through the chapters. You want to discover the twists. You want to savor the unknown. That's exactly what a mysterious woman does. She doesn't rush to reveal everything. She lets the story unfold. Now don't mistake this for being secretive or deceptive. Mystery is not about hiding the truth. It's about valuing your essence enough not to give it all away at once. It's knowing that your heart, your dreams, your body, your story, those are treasures. And treasures are not thrown at everyone who passes by. Treasures are discovered by those who are patient enough to seek them. That's why men find it so powerful, because mystery makes them work. It makes them engage. It makes them invest. Subtlety, on the other hand, is the grace of influence without force. It's the power of suggestion, the strength in gentleness, the impact of a look, a smile, a pause. Sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it. Sometimes it's not the loudest laugh that captures attention, but the softest smile. Subtlety is control without domination. It's persuasion without pressure. And when paired with mystery, it becomes irresistible. Think about it. A woman who doesn't overshare, who doesn't seek approval by putting all her business out there, who leaves room for curiosity. She creates an energy that's magnetic. Men lean in closer, not because she begged for attention, but because she sparked it naturally. A subtle touch, a quiet glance, a thoughtful pause, those things often speak louder than the most dramatic gestures. That's why men call it dangerous. It gets under their skin. It lingers. It haunts. Understand this: mystery is not about being unavailable, and subtlety is not about being weak. Together, they are about self-respect, about intentionality, about creating value in your presence. When a woman carries herself with mystery and moves with subtlety, she becomes unforgettable. She's not just seen, she's remembered. And in a world full of noise and distraction, being remembered is the ultimate power. Emotional intelligence. Now that right there is one of the most dangerously seductive qualities a woman can have. It's not about being the loudest in the room. It's not about dominating every conversation. And it's not about showing off what you know. Emotional intelligence is the quiet strength of being able to read the room, to understand what someone is really saying, even when they don't have the courage to speak it out loud. It's the ability to not just hear words, but to feel the meaning behind them. And when a woman has that, men are drawn to her in ways they cannot explain, because it makes them feel understood on a level that goes deeper than surface attraction. See, every man, no matter how tough he looks, carries battles inside. Insecurities, fears, doubts, things they don't always share. Most of the world either overlooks those things or judges them for it. But a woman with emotional intelligence knows how to listen without attacking, how to comfort without pitying, how to challenge without disrespecting. She makes a man feel safe enough to lower his armor, and that kind of safety is rare. That is why men find it so powerfully magnetic. It's not just beauty they see, it's a connection that touches the soul. Now here's the part most people don't realize. Emotional intelligence isn't about fixing someone. It's not about carrying their burdens or losing yourself in their pain. It's about awareness, knowing how to respond instead of react, how to stay calm when emotions run high, how to lead with empathy without losing boundaries. A woman with that balance commands respect because she can be soft without being weak, kind without being naive, strong without being cold. That duality makes her presence unforgettable. Think about it when she speaks. She doesn't just talk to be heard. She talks to be understood. When she listens, she doesn't just wait for her turn to reply. She listens to truly connect. When she gives advice, it's not from a place of ego, but from a place of care. That kind of awareness is rare in a world where so many people are just waiting to be seen, waiting to be validated, waiting to win an argument. Emotional intelligence shifts the focus from winning to understanding, from reacting to responding, from chaos to calm. And here's why men find it dangerously seductive. Because it makes them want to rise higher. When a woman shows that kind of emotional depth, it challenges a man to be better, to communicate better, to grow into someone worthy of that kind of connection. It doesn't demand change, it inspires it. That's the quiet, irresistible influence of emotional intelligence. So understand this: beauty might catch the eye, but emotional intelligence captures the heart. Looks may fade, trends may shift, but the ability to make someone feel seen, heard, and valued will never lose its power. That's what makes it so magnetic, so unforgettable, and yes, so dangerously seductive. Grace under pressure. Now, that's a quality that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Anybody can smile when life is easy. Anybody can be calm when everything is going their way. But the real test of character comes when the storm hits, when plans fall apart, when disappointments come knocking. And the way a woman carries herself in those moments is not only a reflection of her strength, it's one of the most seductive qualities she can possess. Men may be drawn to beauty, but they are captivated by resilience wrapped in grace. See, pressure reveals the truth. It strips away pretense. It shows who you really are when comfort is taken away. A woman who can face challenges without collapsing, who can breathe through the fire and still keep her composure, becomes unforgettable because she's not just reacting to life. She's leading herself through it. And that calm, collected strength doesn't just inspire respect, it draws people in. Men find it dangerously seductive because grace under pressure is rare, and rare always attracts. Now let's be clear. Grace doesn't mean you don't feel the weight of struggle. It doesn't mean you never cry, never doubt, never break down. It means you don't allow the struggle to define you. It means that even when the ground shakes beneath you, you find your balance and stand tall again. That ability to hold yourself together when everything is falling apart around you, that is a power greater than charm, greater than wit, greater than physical beauty. Because beauty can turn heads, but grace under pressure earns hearts. Think about it: when others panic, she remains steady. When others lash out, she responds with wisdom. When others collapse under the weight, she lifts herself back up. That presence doesn't just affect her life, it influences everyone around her. Men notice it. They notice that calm confidence, that ability to remain grounded in the face of chaos. It creates a sense of respect, admiration, even awe. Because in truth, grace under pressure is strength disguised in elegance. And here's why it's dangerously seductive. It creates trust. A man knows that if this woman can handle life's storms with composure, she can also handle the ups and downs of a relationship with maturity. She won't abandon ship at the first sign of trouble. She won't let anger or pride destroy what patience and calm could save. She becomes not just a partner, but a pillar. That kind of steadiness is rare, and rarity draws desire. So remember this: grace under pressure doesn't mean being perfect. It means being resilient. It doesn't mean you never stumble. It means you rise with dignity every single time. It means you face the fire and walk through it with your head held high. And when a woman embodies that, she carries a quiet, commanding power. A power that is magnetic, unforgettable, and yes, dangerously seductive. Playful femininity. Now that is a quality that lights up any room and makes people lean in without even realizing why. It's not about immaturity. It's not about being childish. And it's not about pretending to be something you're not. Playful femininity is about carrying an energy that is light, joyful, and alive. It's about reminding the world that life is not only about responsibilities and struggles, but also about laughter, fun, and connection. When a woman embodies that spirit, she becomes magnetic because she brings something that everyone secretly craves: relief from the weight of the world. And men especially find this dangerously seductive because it disarms them. It allows them to relax, to smile, to be themselves in a way they often can't be anywhere else. See, the truth is, many people are walking through life heavy with stress, with expectations, with unspoken fears. A woman who knows how to be playful, how to laugh at herself, how to make others laugh, creates a space that feels safe and refreshing. She becomes the reminder that not everything has to be so serious. That joy is still allowed, that happiness is still possible. And men are drawn to that because it feels rare. It feels like a breath of fresh air. Playful femininity is powerful because it balances strength with softness. A woman can be ambitious, confident, and intelligent, but when she also knows how to be lighthearted, how to tease, how to smile in the middle of tension, she becomes unforgettable. That duality, the ability to be serious when needed but playful when it matters, is what makes her stand out. It's the sparkle in her eye, the quick wit in her response, the gentle humor in her words. It's not forced, it's not a performance, it's authenticity shining through. And let's be real, playfulness is healing. It softens anger, it breaks down walls, it turns arguments into conversations. A playful spirit can take a tense moment and transform it with a smile, a laugh, or a clever remark. That doesn't mean avoiding problems. It means handling them with grace and lightness. That's seductive because it shows a woman who has control over her emotions and refuses to let life steal her joy. Men find that irresistible because it's strength hidden in softness, wisdom disguised as humor. Now, understand this. Playful femininity isn't about being silly all the time. It's about being free. Free to express joy without shame. Free to flirt without fear. Free to dance without music, laugh without reason, and find delight in the little things. That freedom is contagious. It makes people want to be around her, to feel what she feels, to share in her light. And in a world that is often dark and demanding, that kind of energy doesn't just attract, it captivates. So remember, playful femininity is not weakness. It's power. It's the ability to remind others that life is meant to be lived, not just endured. It's the kind of spirit that leaves people smiling long after you've left the room. And that, right there, is why it is so dangerously seductive. Passion and purpose. These are forces that make a woman unforgettable. A woman who knows what drives her, who wakes up each morning with something bigger than herself to chase, carries an energy that cannot be ignored. Men find this dangerously seductive because it's rare. Too many people drift through life without direction, waiting for someone else to define their worth. But a woman with passion, with purpose, doesn't wait. She creates. She doesn't follow the crowd. She leads her own path. And that sense of direction, that unstoppable fire, is magnetic. See, passion is not just about career or ambition. It's about the fire in your soul that pushes you to live fully. It's the way your eyes light up when you talk about something you love. It's the way your energy changes when you're engaged in something meaningful. Passion is contagious. It draws people in because it awakens something in them too. A man looks at a woman with passion and sees not just beauty, but vitality. He sees someone who is alive, who has drive, who will not settle for mediocrity. That kind of spirit challenges him, inspires him, and yes, seduces him. But passion alone is not enough. Purpose is what gives passion direction. Passion is the fire. Purpose is the compass. A woman with purpose is not just busy. She's intentional. She knows where she's going, and even when the road gets tough, she keeps moving forward. That clarity is powerful because it shows strength of mind and strength of character. And men respect that. They admire a woman who is grounded in who she is, who refuses to compromise her values, who has something greater to live for than just attention or approval. Now here's the truth. When a woman has passion and purpose, she doesn't cling. She doesn't make a man the center of her universe. She doesn't need saving because she has already found herself. And that independence, that self-sufficiency is dangerously seductive because instead of draining energy, she radiates it. Instead of pulling a man down, she lifts him up. Instead of waiting to be chosen, she chooses herself every day, and that inspires others to rise with her. Think about it. When she speaks about her goals, people listen. When she works toward her dreams, people notice. When she walks in her calling, doors open, opportunities appear, and respect follows. Men are drawn to that because deep down, they want a woman who is not just existing, but living. A woman who is building, creating, striving. A woman who has more to offer than beauty. She has vision. So remember this: passion without purpose is noise, and purpose without passion is empty. But when a woman has both, she becomes unstoppable. She becomes a force of nature, a source of inspiration, a partner who can walk beside someone, not behind them. And that combination, that fire and focus together, is what makes her not just attractive, but unforgettable and dangerously seductive. The balance of independence and connection. This is one of the most powerful, magnetic, and dangerously seductive qualities a woman can carry. Too much independence without openness can feel cold, like no one is allowed in. Too much connection without independence can feel clingy, like a woman has lost herself in someone else's shadow. But when she learns to balance the two, when she stands strong on her own yet still opens her heart to genuine love, she becomes unstoppable. Men see that balance, and they can't help but be drawn to it. See, independence is about knowing who you are without needing someone else to validate you. It's about standing tall in your worth, building your life, pursuing your dreams, and understanding that your happiness is not handed to you by another person. It's created within. A woman who is independent doesn't wait for a man to complete her, because she is already whole. That kind of self-assurance commands respect. Men find it irresistible because it shows strength, confidence, and resilience. She doesn't cling out of fear. She doesn't settle out of desperation. She chooses from a place of power. But independence alone is not the full picture. True strength is not in shutting people out, but in knowing when to let the right ones in. Connection is just as vital. Connection is about vulnerability, trust, and the courage to open your heart. A woman who can stand strong yet still soften in love is powerful beyond measure. She's not afraid to give, not afraid to care, not afraid to receive. That balance, being strong enough to stand alone, but wise enough to know we're not meant to journey through life isolated, is what makes her captivating. Now here's why this balance is dangerously seductive to men. It creates respect and desire at the same time. When a woman is independent, a man knows she's not with him because she needs him. She's with him because she wants him. That choice, that freedom, makes her love more valuable. At the same time, when she allows connection, when she opens up emotionally, when she shares her softness and her care, she becomes approachable and deeply attractive. It's the duality, the ability to be both strong and tender, that makes her unforgettable. Think about it. A woman who can run her own race, yet still hold a man's hand while doing it sends a powerful message. I don't lose myself to love. I expand myself in love. That is rare. Many women either give too much of themselves away or guard themselves so tightly that no one can get close. But the woman who balances both, she inspires admiration and affection, partnership and passion. She builds a relationship that is not based on dependency, but on mutual respect and shared growth. So remember this: independence without connection can be lonely, and connection without independence can be suffocating. But when you walk the line between the two, you become the kind of woman who doesn't just attract attention. You attract loyalty, admiration, and deep love. That balance is elegance. It's power, it's freedom. And it's what makes a woman dangerously seductive.